We were talking about this shortly beforehand. So, what do you feel about the work expectations of their workforce that leads to a demand for multitasking?
Mm. Well, it's I'm not going to be able to quote the right research, but it has been
Fine.
proven that multitasking actually doesn't exist. It's actually task switching really, really quickly from one task to another. So there might be some examples in the world where people have like such brilliant brain that they can task switch so quickly that they're going to still do a good job. Most of us think about when you're, I don't know, sitting on a Teams meeting and still trying to like edit something on the document. That document ends up being like a half done piece, and you probably missed most of the conversation on that meeting as well. So and then besides that, you're trying, like, your brain needs to adapt from one task to another. So if you're finishing one thing and starting the next one, you're going to be thinking about the previous task for a little bit, and then you're going to start thinking about the next task a little bit, and then you're going to start becoming productive. So there's actually proof that there's 20% of the time that goes in the context switching. So actually, if you work on one task, you like use 100% of the time on that one task. If you're trying to switch between two tasks, you're going to do 80% of work and 20% of time you're going to use in the context switching. If you pick up three tasks, 40% of time in context switching, 60% time of the actual three tasks. So just add more tasks and you'll see where that goes. You have more than five tasks, you just all the time look at all of them and don't get anything done. So unless you maybe have ADHD actually, and then that is really helpful to switch from task to task. And then again, we're going into a different space where that works for that certain person, because they can't hyper focus unless they are hyper focusing. They can't focus on mundane tasks for longer than a few minutes. So actually for them, switching the tasks helps. So I'm just kind of going into a little bit different direction, but that is again not multitasking. That is something that's specific. That's the task switching that works for that neurodivergent brain, but it doesn't work for most people. So yeah, I think multitasking is so overrated, and it's become such a trendy word that I'm so productive that I can multitask and I can get so many things done at the same time. But do you really? I don't know.
So I do want to confirm you're right about multitasking. It's actually it's just a concept. It's not actually true that we can. So if I had a whiteboard I could do on here, would show that it works as a series. So if you remember like mathematics where we had like a series where it's like you know, we'll just go simplify it: S1, S2, S3, S4, right? And then if you have another series where it's A1, A2, A3, A4, but in multitasking, what ends up just happening is it's literally like S1, S2, A1, S3, A2, A3, and it's like, so you're getting the progress done, but then you're switching between them. It's you're switching your focus from one to another. You're not literally
Yeah.
splitting your brain into two. It's not happening. It's one. But what I didn't know was the numbers, the 20% of productivity lost into context switching. That's true. I didn't even realize that, because you have to, for a moment, allow your brain to process, oh yeah, this is this task, and you just lost time right there,
Mm.
and brain power into having to remember this is the context of this task, and I have to do this. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's something that many people may not know, but it's true. You're not that special. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break it to you all. I'm sorry. It's a
Yeah.
series.
We are sorry.
but but I love how you brought up like neurodivergency. That's gonna obviously that's a whole other topic, but that's one of those things to that box that we've been referencing this whole podcast. It's not for everybody, right? So some will
Mm.
prefer the S1 A1, and some others will prefer
Yeah.
just that series. Yeah.
But that's like, I think it's really important again to acknowledge that there's so many different people and we need to be mindful about our differences. Empathy, inclusivity, embracing diversity. It is like, I keep banging on about this, but it's so important. It's so important.
Yeah, no, of course.
If you want to hear more stories, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. To support more youth by youth led projects, visit us at youthspeak.ca, where you can donate and spread youth mental health awareness.
YouthSpeak Performance Charity. Speak, inspire, change.